Hello crafty friends, this is the Paper Chef here. Well, I have a new paper trimmer by Stampin Up. They just came out with a completely new model, and I'm just going to go ahead and review it, put it through its paces, see what happens. Okay, so brand new, comes with a box, and I'm just going to show you the features of it, and then we'll just start using it and see what happens. Okay, one thing I noticed when I got it was it has a nice hole up here that I could hang it on a peg. That's kind of nice for in your craft room. And just like in the older model of trimmer, which I have since traded, so I can't show it to you. I've traded it with one of my team members. In fact, the same team member who asked me if she should get this trimmer, she wants me to review it. So anyway, this video is dedicated to you. You know who you are. Anyway, the same as the old trimmer, it has a scoring tool and a cutting tool. Okay, so what is different though right away, I can tell, is this thing actually stays shut. So like this piece of plastic, see, you can hear that. Let me clip that up. See, when I pull it up, it stays shut, so it holds my paper in place. Okay, but we'll get to that. So I have a score tool and a cutting blade. Okay, so that's the first thing. And then I also notice measurements up here. In a few places I have my centimeters, my inches. I notice my measurements in the middle, which keeps your cards from getting too wonky, but we'll see if it actually works. And then we have measurements down here, so that's good. And then what I notice, I know this is longer than normal, or not normal, but longer than my other paper trimmers. And I know it's a longer arm than previous models. It goes out to 17 inches. So how cool is that? Not that my paper is usually more than 12 by 12, but you never know. Sometimes you create posters and things. So it's good to have that extended arm. And when it closes, it goes back into this groove. So it's nice and portable for travel. And then I noticed there's no place to store your extra blades on the back. I did buy extra blades. So this is, by the way, $25. And the only way you can get it is if you're a demonstrator. So if you want to join my team, there'll be a follow-up video about joining my team. All right, I had the blades out. Can't find them right now, but I do think I get 4 in a pack. So that's nice, because in the past there were 2 in a pack. So 4 replacement blades, but don't quote me on that. I know someone will be like, hey. Okay, so that's good, because you really don't need a new scoring tool ever. I don't think I ever needed one in my whole life, but I did need the trimmer blades a lot, because I really wear these things out, even though I mostly use my Brother ScanNCut. All right, so what else? There's no storage for the blades, but they wouldn't really fit back here anyway, because the blades are thicker than this bottom piece. Okay, there's little rubber feet to hold your trimmer in place. So let me see if that works. Let's try it. Yes, the rubber feet work. I'm sorry, I'm shaking my camera a bit, but this doesn't slip off the table. But right away, and I've only cut the paper. I haven't even scored yet. I've only cut the piece of Designer Series paper, and one piece of Whisper White, and really that was it, and one piece of cardstock. But what I love right now, I can tell, is that this sort of closes down and stays shut. So it's going to keep my paper from slipping. I literally had to use painter's tape to hold my paper in place just to cut it in a straight line before, but now it seems like this little arm is going to hold it in place. All right, I'm going to start with a 3 by 4 piece of paper. The reason I'm starting with it is because I'm going to compare this trimmer to what my ScanNCut does. We know the ScanNCut is precise. It's a machine. So I cut these electronically. So now I'm going to compare what this trimmer does, and see, I don't have to hold the paper. It's staying in place. So I can just slice it. Okay, so that was, just so you can see, that was 4 inches. And I'll put this up closer later. 4 by 3. And I chose to use this paper just in celebration that it's on sale right now. And I actually had made some projects with it too as well. I'll show you. It's called the Everything is Rosy medley. And when we throw some cards together later in this video, I can show you this medley in more detail. All right, so here we go. This is the piece I just cut out with the new Stampin' trimmer. Let's compare it to the ScanNCut. Is it wonky? Is it exact? It looks a little smaller, but it looks not smaller. Yeah, it does look smaller. Here, maybe I can compare it to a solid side. And that's okay. That was just the way I was angling the camera. Okay, but it's not wonky. And then the real test is when you put it on a card. And so I have a card here. These are called the Memories and More note cards. And the reason I chose these just for the first test is because they are exactly right. Stampin' Up made them. They're already pre-scored for us. So before I start trying to make my own card, I want to see if how this compares, or how this mat looks like on a card that we know is exactly 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. I just like to put it up against something when I flatten it out. And use a bone folder, or I just use my little spatula to flatten it out. Okay, now we'll see how good our mats are that we just cut. Okay, so that was with the Stampin' Trimmer, and I'm very happy with this 1/4 inch margin. So I cut a 3 by 4 piece of Everything is Rosy, and it looks exactly right. And then I compare that to a piece I cut with the ScanNCut, and that's exactly right. Okay, so far so good. It cuts nice shapes for us, so we're good with that. Now let's try to make a gatefold card. Let's see how it does with scoring cardstock and cutting cardstock. We'll see how that is. So the Everything is Rosy product medley coordinates with these two colors, Melon Mambo, Night of Navy. I'm just going to take out a Night of Navy in case I mess up. Then I have one ready to go. So I usually use what's called the Simply Score for scoring. But when you have a trimmer and scorer together, it makes it pretty convenient. So let's do a Melon Mambo card. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut it in half lengthwise, because I'm going to make a gatefold card. Only because I can kind of compare that to what I made. I made one last week with a different trimmer, and we will see how that compares. Well, I don't have it anymore, but I'm saying we'll see if it's straight like it was with my trimmer. So what I'm doing now is I'm going 4 1/4. So I'm going to lift that up so you can see it, and then I'll put it back down, because you never want to cut while something's up in the air. So you can see how there's 1/4 inch marks. What I really do like is that the lines divided on the trimmer have 1/4 inch lines. That helps keep your paper straight all the way down. And that's usually what I work in. Okay, so here, 4 1/4. So that's what I'm doing. I'm putting it along the line, and then I'm using the black blade, which is the cutting blade. Okay, so 4 1/4. And that's because I'm making a gatefold card. And I always start at the top. I don't try to start cutting at the middle of something. I always try to start cutting at the top. Or the bottom, but I don't start cutting in the middle. Okay, let's see if my two pieces are even. And they are. They're perfectly even, so that's good. No wonkiness yet. Now let's do the scoring. Okay, we'll get that out of the way. And to score your gatefold card, you need to score it at 2.75. Again, I like how I was able to slip the paper under there, but I like how tight it stays in there. So let's see, 2.75. There we go. And I'm just going to score. I'm just using the scoring tool. Okay, let's see if the score line is good. Yep, looks pretty good. Okay, we're going to, I can either, what I would normally do is I would normally just do, let's try to do it. I can score, I actually would also score at 8.25. But in this case, since I have a long piece of paper and I don't feel like taking the arm out right now, I'm just going to flip it around and score at 2.75 again. But I could, like if I was using a trimmer, I would score at 2.75 and 8.25. But instead, I'm just flipping the paper over and doing 2.75 again, just in the interest of saving room on my table. Okay, so I mean, not saving room. I mean, just so my table's not so cluttered by lifting the arm out again. Okay, so 2.75. So now let's see if it's wonky. Let's go ahead and fold the flaps of the gatefold card. And we're just going to see how they look. Are they straight? We all know, we've all had paper trimmers that are not straight. Yes, they are. Okay, so I'm happy. So far I'm happy. As long as my paper trimmer is not making my cards wonky, I am a happy camper. See? It's all straight, and they meet in the middle. So that's pretty cool. And I would tell you if it's not. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the pieces then that we need. So we're going to need, I mean, I'm not going to decorate the entire card, but you would basically need, we'll do the outside of the card. How about that? because it'll give us an idea of how well this goes. So and then I could show you the other paper. So, all right, if I'm using Melon Mambo, then that would be good contrast on the outside. And maybe this would be good for the inside. And let's see what else we have. Let me just show you the whole stack, because I took out the stack of these to show my crafty friends. Because this isn't going to be on clearance very long. If one of my customers does buy this medley, you'll be getting some special crafts from me that I made from this medley that I happen to make for an online course I'm teaching. See, they're double-sided. Oh, this one's good. I made the envelope. I made a little envelope out of that one, so I'm going to go with that one for the outside. I like the foiled sides better. And then it comes with some rose gold foil, all kinds of stuff. All right, so let's use this one. So I'm going to make so because my little flaps on the outside of my gatefold card are 2.75 wide by 4 1/4 inch high, I need them to be 2.5. 2.5. I'm only going to do one of these. Let's see. 2.5 wide by 4 inches tall. And I want the pattern to go that way, so I'm going to go ahead and move that scoring. So that's kind of annoying to have to move this out of the way all the time. I wish, well, it does go down. I wish there was a place to kind of keep it from, I don't know, maybe hold it steady, and so it doesn't keep getting in the way, but hey, I'm glad it's there, because then you can score and cut at the same time. But it is kind of annoying, to tell you the truth. Okay, so let's just cut. So now we have a piece for the front, and I'm going to do a piece for the opposite side. So I like that. We'll do a different piece for the opposite side. And so we're just going to make it 4 by 2.75. I probably could have slipped the paper up there without lifting it every time. In fact, that is hard to lift every time. But I mean, it's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. You want your paper to stay in there. It's like almost like magnetic or something. I don't know. I haven't seen any magnets, but hey, I don't know yet. This is it. I just got it out of the box. Okay, so here we go. So now we have another piece for the other side of the front of our card. So when you make a gatefold card, what's really nice is it really showcases designer series paper, because you can put one here, a piece of whisper white in the middle with a sentiment. You can also put two, and anything you want. You can put different designer series paper in the inside. I've shown you how to make gatefold cards in my YouTube channel before. All right, I'm only using Tombow glue because I happen to have it out. I normally would use some kind of rolling adhesive, maybe like a little like snail or something. But I'm just using whatever I can grab right now, like whatever's in the closest to me. And what's nice about when you do use glue for your little panels is that you can wiggle them around until they're exactly right. You get that 1/4 inch margin around your cards, and then it comes out good. So far I like the trimmer, but you might be like, Paper Chef, I thought you hardly ever use trimmers. You have a ScanNCut. Well, I don't just have one ScanNCut. I have 3 ScanNCuts. I have a Cricut, and I'm looking at right now around me, 1, 2, 3. There's 4 trimmers on the floor. Well, not on the floor. I mean, they happen to be on the floor because I was going to kind of compare them, but then they ended up, just getting in the way. Anyway, I have 4 other trimmers. So yes, I do so much crafting. I go to workshops. When I go to workshops, I like everybody to have access to a trimmer easily. I give a lot of free choice. I don't just cut everything for them. I give them some examples. I let people cut things. I have craft clubs. They use it. My blades are always going dull. Different trimmers do better at different things. So yes, of course I'm going to get the new trimmer. Not only that, I just went on a little shopping spree with some flex points that I have to use by the end of the year. All right, so I have the trimmer, and I'm happy I have the trimmer. So yeah, there's our card. It's pretty cool. Okay, anything else I want to say about the trimmer before I can make some room on my table and we'll kind of do something to this card? Okay, let's see. I did want to say something about this. Okay, this is hard to open. Okay, here we go. Opening it up. Here, this is what I want to say something about. Inside here, I don't know if you can see this, but in the past and on some of my other trimmers, when you open up the arm, you have this like void of your measurements. And you don't know what the measurements are in that little gap. But they did put little marks there, and I'm going to scrape it so you can hear it. Hear that. Okay? So that's nice. So there's no mystery there between, 6 1/4, 6 1/2. Oops, something's on there. Oh, no, that's an arrow. Is that an arrow? Oh, I'm trying to scratch it off. It was a 6 inch mark. And I'm sitting here trying to scratch it off. I think I just scratched the plastic. Okay, and that's all I want to say. And I think it's pretty easy to remove these. Let's try to remove these. I might, you know, if you want to change them. There's usually a little open area. Here we go, there is. Okay, so let me show you that. And this goes for all trimmers that I have. There's usually a little open area, see? The open area where you can. But I'm not going to take these off because I'm going to use the score tool a lot. And plus, I'm going to put an S for score. I use my label maker. And then I'm going to put a C for cut. And then everybody knows. And I wouldn't let my young students use this one. I have plenty of them they can poke around with. I did have, no, I'm not going to reach up on my other trimmers, but I do let them use the other trimmers, and they know how to use them just fine. All right, back to product medley. So this just happens to be, lucky you, on clearance. So I don't know how long it'll last, but I did buy it way back when. I can put my extra card stock away. And it comes, this medley comes with all kinds of things. Okay, it comes with designer series paper. I'm just want to make the card with this one too while I'm at it, while I'm talking. Okay, I'm just using the little memories and more note card. So the medley, designer series paper, rose gold foil, okay, a stamp set, coordinating dies, ribbons, mirrors, little mirror embellishments. I did something cool with the mirrors. In fact, it made me think of something when I saw those mirrors, okay? So yeah, so I've already pre-stamped the sentiments we'll use for our little projects here, because the point of this video is really about the trimmer, but I'm just showing you some things. So I did, everything is rosy. I pre-stamped some sentiments because I had them for other projects anyway. Okay, so that's a photo polymer stamp set. And then the dies, I already pre-cut the dies we'll use for the embellishments, because I'm not gonna have another machine on my table right now. But I love these three. In fact, they're the only ones I've used, really. I like using these flourishes to create embellishments. And I'll show you what they look like. So now I can grab my basket. So we can sort of decorate our cards. So you get all these things too. You get all these little embellishments. Here's one. May your birthday be filled with pretty things. Oh, actually, here, I have some others. We'll just use the ones that are round. May your birthday be filled with pretty things. So to stamp those, I used a coordinating color, Night of Navy. I stamped them ahead of time. Let's just put those down. Okay, I have other flourishes like this that we can use on the cards. These cool little mirrors, they have little covers on them to help protect the mirrors. Here's that copper shimmer paint. I think it came with the bright copper. Could have came with gold paint. I have every color of paint too. Okay, and then there's the ribbons it came with, which I love. Okay, so it's a product medley, meaning you get a whole bunch of coordinating products. The only thing bad about product medleys is we can't just replace, you have to get everything as a group, and I love everything in the group, but then I just want more paper. I don't want to buy the whole medley again just to get more paper. You know, that's the only bad thing, but other than that, it's pretty cool. All right, so let's see what size shape this was. This was May Your Birthday Be Filled with Pretty Things. We have to find some circle punches here. Let's see what size that was. That looks like it was that was 1 3/4. So then we need a 2-inch circle punch. I'm just punching out a circle for my sentiment. I hope that fits. I don't know why I have this piece already 2 inches. Let's see maybe it'll go better on that side. Something like that. Okay, so just to decorate the front of the card. And then you just want some contrast. So you just pop that up with some dimensionals, glue, or what have you, and you're good to go. And we'll see if we can put a little ribbon on it. Then we'll have something for the front of our card. Maybe some of this little ribbon behind the sentiment before. And that I would glue on. I had to cut a bigger piece first. And then I trim it down. There we go. So let's put that behind there. And I would glue ribbon on because it just stays better on the back. And then I can pop up these on dimensionals and put a little piece of this ribbon behind there too, maybe down there. Very, very fun to embellish. when you have all kinds of coordinating products, and especially when there's only 2 colors. So we have some dimensionals. I'm just going to use these little mini dimensionals. I usually use bigger dimensionals than this, but this is what I happen to have right now. So some Stampin' dimensionals, and then we'll pop some on there. And while I'm at it, I'm going to throw together some flourishes. I told you about the flourishes. We'll throw some flourishes back there too. We'll put something sticking out. We'll put that right there. In fact, don't want to waste a big flourish. We can use the other half for something else. If you're only going to have a little bit sticking out, then just put the little piece sticking out. You don't need to, if you're covering it up anyway. I don't even know if I put glue on there. There you go. If you're covering it up anyway, well, heck, let's use a different one, huh? I put a lot of glue on that one. We'll use this one instead. I wasn't watching when I was putting the glue on there. This glue is super sticky, which is a good thing. Okay, so now a couple of dimensionals back here, and we have that side of our card done, and now we'll do the other side of the card. Oops, pull that one out. We need some ribbon sticking out over here. Come on, ribbon. You should stick out more. There we go. There we go. I like how it sticks out more. And then of course I would use like a little twine or something to tie that all together. And on this side I would just use an embellishment. Let's use an embellishment that came with here. Let's see if this one looks better. Probably one of these. Yep, something like that. Okay, so then I'm happy. Then I have a nice card made. My trimmer works. I'm just going to put some dimensionals on it. So yeah, overall, a good job with it. And so now I'll show you some other projects I just created using, not just, but recently created using the Everything is Rosy product medley. There we go. We do not have a wonky card. We have a perfect little card. And I would pull this ribbon out some. There. You want to pull it out so it's sticking out evenly. And I think I need a little embellishment over here. There we go. We already have glue on it. So I'm going to shove that under there, under this side. There we go. Then we have something on both sides. We got a little gold embellishment sticking out. We have a little bit of ribbon sticking out. And I even have some gold enamel dots that just came with another product I just got. So yeah, I'm happy with this little card we just cut. So Everything is Rosy. I thought of these little, when I got these little mirrors, and I thought these would be good little stoppers for easel cards. So just a teaser, my course is now getting approved by Udemy. My next course is called Card Making Using the Brother ScanNCut. And I show you how to create all of these cards in my course, where we cut out the pieces exactly. We don't use paper trimmers like I just showed you. We do create the card bases manually using paper trimmers. I didn't have the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer at the time of the course that I created, but I did use paper trimmers to create the card bases themselves. But we created all of these card layers, both cardstock designer series paper, and all of these layers precisely using the ScanNCut. And there's many other projects in the course. I even teach you how to create envelopes to match your cards, such as this envelope here that we made of cardstock. And that's also on clearance too. There's an envelope punch board that also happens to be on clearance. So you could actually have the actual materials you need for my course. So this is what I was talking about. If any of my customers decide to buy this product medley before it runs out in the clearance section, then you will get one of my special, well, maybe even more than one. You're going to get my Christmas example anyway, but you'll get at least one special thing that I've made from the Everything is Rosy suite. Like I'm in the process of making bookmarks as well. So I can promise a bookmark and a card. I'm not sure what else I'll be making with this suite. I just started making little mini note card envelopes to go with the little cards, you know, that I just created, the little 3x5, 3x4 card. So, I mean, I'm in the process of making a lot of projects using this Everything is Rosy medley. So you never know what you'll get in the mail if you purchase this suite. So anyway, I hope you liked that trimmer. I think it did a good job. I think it could have done almost as good a job as my ScanNCut could have with these, but you know what? I saved a lot of time by using a machine. So I hope you'll check out the trimmer. If you want it now, you have to join my team. You have to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Or if you're in another country outside of the US, find a demonstrator, and you can purchase this trimmer, because it's not going to be on sale in, I'm not sure when, for the general public. It's only on sale for demonstrators. So that's why I dedicate this video to my team, because somebody on my team asked me to review that paper trimmer for them. So thank you for watching. This is the Papered Chef.